Hello, and welcome to another Crack-a-Pack. Today, we will be opening 3 more play boosters from Avatar the Last Airbender. And in the same format as we did last week, we will be making a pack 1 pick 1 all the way up to a pack 1 pick 3. Let's get right into it. So for this pack, we will just be making a singular pack 1 pick 1. Our options for this pack are Raucous Audience, Porcupine, Canyon Crawler, Forecasting Fortune Teller, Sandbender Storm, Merchant of Many Hats, Abandon Attachments, Leaves from the Vine, Accumulate Wisdom, Invasion Reinforcements, Iroh's Demonstration, the rare is Tough, Hard-Headed Teacher, a foil Gran, Meditation Pools is the land, and a placeholder card. Okay. Before I saw the rare, I was definitely thinking we would be choosing between Forecasting Fortune Teller or Accumulate Wisdom. But, Toph is certainly a good enough rare that I would be interested in pursuing it. We can be on the lookout for other red-green lesson spells and for earthbending. So yeah, I think I would be interested in taking Toph here. And I imagine we're putting someone after us into blue with this package. But yeah, let's move right along to our next pack. So for this pack, we will be making a pack 1 pick 2 to follow up Toph. But before we can do that, we need to make a totally separate pack 1 pick 1. So let's see what we've got. Starting out with It'll Quench Ya, Rabberoo Troop, Rebellious Captives, Fire Nation Raider, Callous Inspector, Lost Days, Platypus Bear, Pretending Pox Bearers, Toph the Blind Bandit, Tundra Tank, Jet's Brainwashing, the rare is The Legend of Kyoshi. Nice. A foil turtle duck, a foil plains, a food token, and a bear token. Alright. There's some pretty good stuff in this pack, but I don't think I would be looking too much further than The Legend of Kyoshi. I think all of the sagas in this cycle are pretty great, and every single chapter on this one is very strong. On the backside, you get a 5/4. All of your lands have trample and hexproof, and it can tap for at least 5 mana. So, yeah. I would totally be taking this as the pack 1 pick 1. A bit unfortunate that we now have potentially 2 earthbending decks in a row here. That is not going to be great for the Toph drafter in packs 1 and 3. But these 2 players don't really know about each other, so that information just has to be derived from what is reaching them as we pick and pass. But now let's take a look at the pack 1 pick 2 to go with Toph. All we can tell by looking at this pack right now is that the player ahead of us took a rare. That doesn't really give us information about anything or what color they could be in, anything like that. All we know is that the rare was good enough to be first pickable, and that they picked it over some of the best commons in the set. So, I mean, that might narrow it down a little bit, but might not depending on the draft environment you're in. But for this pick, I would absolutely be looking at these 2 cards. Again, 2 of the best commons in the set. They are both lessons, and we know Toph cares about that. The downside is they're both blue, whereas we're potentially looking to be in Gruul. So for me, I might really be looking at the other Toph that we have. This is a really good earthbending card and would go very well with our first pick. So I guess the question is, do we want an overall high-performing card, but maybe some shaky mana? Or do we want a more synergistic card that is also quite good and slots in very nicely with our first pick? We also know that we've already sent some really good blue cards to the left. So if we did want to move into blue, then we know pack 2 might be tough for us. So, I don't know. I think I would be trying to decide between either Toph or Lost Days. And I think both are quite compelling. Yeah. I think Lost Days is good enough that we take it here and figure out the mana later. it is a bit painful to have to pass the TOF, but maybe we'll get something good in our third pack. So for this one, we are working our way up to a pack 1 pick 3 to go with TOF and Lost Days. But in order to do that, we need to make a totally separate pack 1 pick 1, pass for a pack 1 pick 2 to go with our legend, and then pass again for a pack 1 pick 3. Let's begin. So for this pack, we've got Corrupt Court Official, Hog Monkey, another It'll Quench Ya, Avatar Enthusiasts, Rebellious Captives, How to Start a Riot, Earth Village Ruffians, Sparring Dummy, Destined Confrontation, Ozai's Cruelty, Energy Bending, the rare is Agna Kella, a foil, Merchant of Many Hats, Kyoshi Village, an ally token, and a clue token. Alright. So for this pack's pack 1 pick 1, I'm not terribly excited about anything in here really. I would probably be looking at these two cards. I think this card is pretty decent late game and goes well with anything that wants you to draw a second card in a turn. And then It'll Quench Ya, a decent counterspell, and goes well with anything that wants you to have lessons. I might also look at Avatar Enthusiasts as well, as a card that goes well in the ally deck. I don't know. I think maybe I would just snap off It'll Quench Ya here and stay open for anything else that comes my way. For the pack 1 pick 2 to go with Legend of Kyoshi, I don't really see a strong reason to dip into another color quite yet. So I would probably just be looking at the green cards in here. Not really interested in Sparring Dummy. So either a 3/1 that earthbends 2 when it dies, or a 2/2 that you can pay 6 and 2 to make it a 4/4 and earthbend 2. I would probably just go with that one. And then for our pack 1 pick 3 to go with TOF and Lost Days. Not much for on-color cards here. We have a couple of lessons we could look at. or the Earth Village Ruffians. I mean, maybe I would look at energy bending. It replaces itself. It is a lesson and can smooth out our mana for one turn. And I don't really think we're passing anything that we would miss dearly. So maybe I would try this. I might end up cutting it, but I don't know. Maybe give it a shot. And that will do it. So here is the start of 3 different draft decks that we assembled today. Let me know your thoughts, and if you would have gone in a different direction at any point. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, and please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I put out new Magic the Gathering ASMR videos every Monday and Friday. I truly appreciate all of your support, and I hope you have a wonderful day.